Song on hold, the ban phase has begun. Lovely. Right, so this is the first game of the semi-finals of the MSI NVIDIA Trophy qualifiers. That's a big mouthful. And this is CLG.eu versus Team WinFakt. And we're just going to start the picks and ban phases now. I'm expecting a lot of AP mids being banned. You can always guarantee that. Always guarantee a Carthus ban. Maybe even an RE ban. Cassiopeia, yeah, one of the strongest AP mids at the moment. Massive AoE stun. You can't really go wrong by banning Cassiopeia. RE?
Yeah, no, not really. Cassiopeia and RE, the pretty standard bans throughout most of the ELO ratings, and obviously at higher ELO. RE and Cassiopeia do tend to get picked up as bans pretty easily and pretty quickly as well. So there we go, and another mid in the shape of Morgana, which is the same really. You kind of expect it these days, don't you?
Well, I don't know actually. We had a conversation earlier today where you said the pros don't tend to ban Morgana, but I guess here we go. I'm petty. I'm a petty man. And there's Rammus. Rammus, definitely one of the fastest junglers, one of the most dangerous junglers in the world. I'm always glad to see him banned. And just 2 more bans to go. Probably a Carthus ban. That really wouldn't be too far-fetched, really. Or a Kennen, maybe.
Does look like CLG are taking their time
and
they haven't decided to ban someone. Not entirely sure if that was meant to happen, but obviously we're going to find out. Could be a tactical non-ban.
Well, if you don't ban someone, they could have banned anyone. They could have banned Rumble or even Lily. Champions that are slightly unconventional. I don't know, maybe there's been a connection error. We will see.
I would hope not. It looks like WinFakt have indeed banned. I thought they were going to not ban, and they banned Shyvana. So first pick here to CLG in the form of Yellow Pete.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to be picked up?
Well, Maokai is one of their CLG's favourite junglers. He's fast. He's got a great ganking potential, and is incredibly hard to kill in a team fight. And they tend to grab Oracle quite early on with a Maokai, as we saw yesterday in the quarterfinals. They grabbed an Oracle at level 6 on a Maokai, and he kept it the majority of the game. He killed at least 10, 12 wards, and wow, that's quite it'll be quite dangerous. WinFakt pick up their bottom lane straight away. They've gone for a Janna and Ashe combo. Quite a strong bottom lane. Janna,
yeah, definitely
one of the best supports at the moment.
Looks like it's going to be some interesting picks. Someone has literally just brought up the fact that this is the Fiora patch now, isn't it? So there are going to be the little changes and the little tweaks to characters that we wouldn't have seen already. I'm sure that she won't get picked out simply because no one's played her enough. Yeah. But I will quickly check the patch notes to see if there's any interesting notes.
Well, yeah, I don't think anyone really wants to grab Fiora here. This is a best of 3. They could experiment in their first game, but if they throw away their first game, they have to work hard for the next 2 games. So both teams really want to win the first game and not put too much on the line. As we see a Kog'Maw locked in, and most likely the Taric will stick. So Kog'Maw Taric versus Janna and Nivea bottom lane. Kog'Maw, one of the biggest range AD carries. I think he's only beaten by Tristana, maybe, or Urgot. So Kog'Maw offers so much utility during a fight. His AoE slow, and definitely is very terrifying. He shreds away people's health instantly.
No, definitely. These are 2 very strong looking bottom lanes. It's going to be an interesting fight between the 2 of them. Personally, I probably would prefer Kog'Maw early to mid, but then maybe Ashe towards late game. I'm not sure why. That probably makes no sense. But I don't know, I just think Kog'Maw is really strong. Ashe is strong as well, but I think Kog'Maw Taric is going to have a little bit more punch to it.
Maybe.
Especially with a stun and Kog'Maw's early damage, which is strong. So yeah, I can see it being a little bit more punchy in terms of CLG's picks here.
moment, CLG still need to pick a solo top and a solo mid. I wouldn't be surprised if we've seen a Nivea or Riven, very powerful lady. Riven very hard to beat, as WinFakt still have to pick their solo top. That is their final pick, so they're going to try and counter pick Riven, maybe with an Irelia or.
You never know. They could put Ken top. Ken is obviously he can go mid, top, or bot if you really want him to, and they might stick Ken top against the Riven. Probably sure it might not happen, as Anivia gets picked up, so we're gonna be seeing some great Anivia play in this game, which is always nice to watch. But like you say, they probably are looking to pick up a top here. Ken probably is going to be playing mid, so a strong pick against Riven. Oof.
Irelia, maybe Olaf. Olaf did recently get revamped, but he is obviously.
Irelia,
Ken maybe top then.
So a Rise pick. It's an interesting. Rise is a very counter to It's pretty countery to Anivia. But like I say, they could go anywhere. Like Ken could, like I said, he could go up into top lane, and he's going to be strong up in top lane. But I was going to say that someone with a bit of range in top is going to be pretty annoying as well. And then you could have the range in Ken still at mid, which is nice.
Yeah, you don't want to be too, too
why don't I pick up Teemo? Teemo top.
Teemo, yeah, he's
massively underrated.
Blind Riven, and then just poison her down. OP.
Massively underrated.
And looks like it will be Nidalee locked in for solo top for Team WinFakt. So the rundown of the teams, we have for CLG.eu, Maokai jungle, Riven solo top, Kog'Maw and Taric bottom lane, and Anivia mid. And for Team WinFakt, we have Janna and Ashe bottom lane, Lee Sin jungle, Kennen mid, and Nidalee solo top.
So this is looking to be a really good game. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on mid, which is going to be a fierce contest between Anivia and Kennen. It's definitely going to be one to watch. I think top lane could be a little bit stale. I think both might be quite happy to sort of. You know what Nidalee's like though. Nidalee's got so much poke.
Yeah.
She can get really annoying.
And her heal means that she's going to stay up there forever. If she primary levels up her heal, she's going to be up there for the entire game.
Yeah, and as soon as you ding 6 with her, it's so hard to gank her. Then just jump into a bush, get the speed up, and then jump back out, and you're pretty much away from most ganks. But then they do have a Maokai jungle, and he is pretty fierce as well. He's a strong jungler, one of the strongest, especially gank wise. So it's definitely going to be a strong, interesting game, and definitely looking forward to this one. Who do you think is going to be winning this one? In your opinion?
I do think Kennen is extraordinarily powerful. She gets so much CS. And
extraordinarily powerful.
And she doesn't rely too much on mana, so I do like seeing a Kennen.
It's a he. Oh, sweet Jesus! If I tell you Ken is a he more times, I'm gonna come around your house and just. I don't know.
Okay, does it matter though? Does it matter if I call Kennen a he or a she? It doesn't really matter.
It does. It mildly upsets me.
Does it?
And it's so obvious.
It looks. Women tend to be shorter than men, and Kennen is quite short. So I can make the assumption.
So you're making a prejudiced assumption that because Ken is a shorter person, there must be a woman. Because you are insinuating that women are lesser beings than men.
Right.
So now you're sexist.
I'm pretty sure women are generally and genetically shorter than men.
Terrible.
And Anivia, of course, Froggen, his favourite champion at mid is Anivia. Is Anivia he? I don't know. Who knows?
You're inciting hate amongst the 1% of people watching this cast who might be.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the one person watching video is actually a woman. I am very sorry. It's gonna be down there. I'm very sorry. But,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
The one female viewer, we apologise for.
Yeah.
That clear sexist remark about Kennen.
Yeah.
Who's clearly he.
So,
Teemo, boy or girl?
Teemo, I think Teemo's a girl. It's kind of hard to say. I'm pretty sure. I am pretty sure, based on the height, that Teemo is a girl. Look it up. I think Teemo is actually a girl.
Volibear?
Volibear? I don't know. I'd have to check that one.
Manually check. You need to lift up his back leg and have a look.
Maybe I will. But while I get my interface set up, I'll put a quick little bit of commercials on, and we should get back. There's 1 minute until the game starts, so when you get back, the game will begin.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I'm looking forward. Well, it should have already begun. So we'll be looking forward to see where this game is going to be coming.
Alright, so I'm going to get my interface up. There we go. Team WinFakt versus CLG.eu. Goodie.
Are you getting all your little things on?
Yeah, I just had to click a button, make sure everything was put in the correct place. We are currently on 400 views. So not the best, but I mean, hopefully we'll pick it up.
Hey, we've only just started streaming. We've got a load of competition today in terms of stream. We need to get people on to this stream.
Yeah, hopefully everyone will tell their friends.
It's not the amount of people you cast. I don't care how many we cast to. I just enjoy the precipice of casting in the first place.
The precipice.
That totally doesn't make sense.
Ugh, about 30 seconds more of adverts. And
word of the day: toilet paper failing for me.
Yeah, and in we go. I'll let us know.
This game is going to get underway. I'm going to be watching NVIDIA intensely because I am fond to play NVIDIA myself.
Yeah.
I do feel at the moment she's pretty weak at mid.
Well, we'll see.
There's so much. There's just her damage is insane, but she does feel weak sometimes.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think her Q projectile speed is a little bit too slow sometimes. If it was a little bit quicker, then I think up to a level 6 she'd just have that little bit more poke in lane. At the moment, trying to hit with that Q is a bit of a... It's so easy to dodge, it's way too slow. But obviously when you hit 6, you can get your ult down, you can spam out your frostbites and hit with a lot of damage, so...
Yeah, definitely. So, for those of you who have just joined us, this is the first match of the semi-finals of the MSI NVIDIA Qualifier. And this is between CLG, who will be on the blue team, and WinFakt, Team WinFakt, on the purple team. And it's the best of 3 match, and we should be underway very soon. And as we are, so I was just going to the right there.
Snoopy might not have connected there.
No, that is quite interesting.
Doesn't look like the tree is moving, which could not be great. I'm sure he's come back to life at some point, so that should be fine. Is he gonna start moving? I hope so.
You keep an eye on that. And it looks like, I don't know if anyone's really reacted. We are 3 minutes behind, so we won't really know if the game has been disassembled yet. Hopefully this game will go through, as it looks like Team WinFakt are putting a nice defense around their red buff just to protect Lee Sin. And here we go, the tree has reconnected, so that is lovely.
The tree is back, which is really great stuff. A lot of people mentioned that Ken did lose in the skin war. Yeah, blame Ken when they lose the game. All Ken's fault. Personally, I think there aren't that many great Ken skins. I tend to find with the smaller champions that they don't tend to have better skins.
What, Teemo? Teemo's got
there's so much less to see. Well, Teemo is like the exception. As we can see, both teams, well, not both teams at all. WinFakt setting up quite a defensive position here around red buff. Ken obviously watching the pass into their jungle, as CLG were having a quick look, having a little poke out and see what was going on.
Quite an interesting ward there from CLG. It's to basically view their... Let's see what there's... From their viewpoint, this is all they can see, and they can't even see Wraiths from that ward, so it's basically just... If they wanted to jungle invade, I think that was a defensive ward.
It is, it's definitely, yeah, like you said, it's a weird ward to put down, because there's not going to be that much movement through the bush. It does just about give them enough vision to see when characters come across. It looks like Froggen is looking to do something pretty annoying here. Is going to drop a Q into that bush. Does a fair bit of damage to Lee's in there, but he's not going to pick up any of the minions. So not bad there. Not a bad little Flash Frost jump in there, but not much coming of it in the end.
Good bit of double golems kiting at bottom lane at the moment between Crapo and Yellow Pete. And looks like they'll be getting that and getting straight to lane as soon as possible. That is always a favourite tactic for the blue team.
Yeah, this is why blue team are considered to be ever so slightly stronger. Obviously, you can pick up those golems, and positioning around that dragon buff is
and Baron as well. They have the open and the Baron.
Yeah, it's
slight. It's a very slight.
Yeah, it's a very slight advantage, but it's widely accepted amongst most of the professional teams that it is the case. So yeah, no, definitely. As we see, I'm going to keep an eye on NVIDIA in mid. I'm not sure what you're going to be looking at.
I'm currently watching Snoopy jungle as Maokai, because I'm always fascinated by jungle Maokai. I never know how you do it. It's because he's grabbed a regrowth pendant, and if I was jungling Maokai, I'd grab 5 health potions, and I'd be panicking, and I'd be dying at blue. But this guy knows how to do it. So
he's clearly got some armor runes, so he's can afford to take that health regrowth pendant. So he should be fine. Both lanes, all of the lanes at the moment do seem pretty much content even, not contempt, content with just sort of relaxing, trying to pick up some early CS here. Obviously, CS very important as the game moves through. Both teams very happy, like just want to pick up as much as they can. The junglers look like they're happy just to pick up all of their jungle and then start ganking. So pretty slow build up here, but I'm sure it's going to explode into a little bit of a fierce contest.
I believe in the latest patch, which was today in EU, the neutral buffs, the neutral mobs in the jungle give mana, don't they? Now, as well as health, a tiny bit of mana. So it will make jungling as mana users that just tiny little bit easier.
Yeah, and as it looks like WinFakt, the Tez Lee Sin is going to come in for a slight ninja gank. Doesn't look like the minions are pushed enough on their side, so I'm not sure what he's doing. He's probably just wasting his time at the moment.
Yeah, he does need to get back in the jungle and get levels, really.
Yeah, Maokai has just stayed in that jungle. Doesn't look like he's going to be going for a gank anytime soon. Looks like he just wants to, just like you say, pick up as much experience and gold as he can. Might as well use the time that he's got in the jungle with double buff. But he does want to come out sooner or later, and I'm sure he'll probably be going up to top lane after he picks up these wolves. Lee Sin is trying to come into bottom lane. Don't think anything's going to happen with it. And he does back off in the end.
I think my logo's in a very bad position.
It's really big, man.
I don't know where else to put it. I could make it smaller. How about that?
Make it smaller.
I'll make it smaller. I'm going to have the camera frozen here for a second while I make it smaller.
Make it smaller and put it to the right of the MSI.
The right of the MSI.
So it's about the same size. That should be fine.
That good?
It's not updated yet for me.
Alright, well, when you...
So I couldn't tell you.
Let me move that out of the way then. Right, sorry about that. Hope you enjoyed watching bottom lane for a little bit there. So, if we go to mid, Kennen is leveling up her Q, primarily the Thundering Shuriken, always the best outrange move. As it looks like Lee Sin may be coming in for a nice little gank here.
Yeah, always worth coming in for Anivia. The only problem with Anivia is you've got that egg, so you're going to burst her down, but she can obviously get straight back up. It's a good Flash Frost there to hit Ken, slow his advance. But Anivia taking a lot of damage there in mid.
Forced down to half health. She looks like she's going to go back. How much gold does she have? Where is my thing gone? I think I pressed a button here. That was a bad button.
I think she's got 1300 gold, so she could go back here.
Oh, there it's tab. Sorry. Oh, there we go.
She could go back here, but she decided not to. She has got the health potions, so Anivia is more than welcome to stay in this lane. It's got the survivability at the moment. It has got that Flash Frost to stop Ken's annoying advances with his Lightning Rush. So it's pretty much fine. Like, as you can see, one health potion, almost back to full health. So Anivia probably didn't want to go back there.
No, she can. As long as you have health potions, you can stay in the lane.
Yeah, really, you want to stay in the lane for as long as you can, picking up as many minions as you can, and only go back when you really need to or when you're really low on health. Just because if you go back, you're just giving your opponent the chance to get ahead on CS and then get a few levels, and then they can attempt to block you on CS as much as possible when you come back into lane. So unless you've got enough gold to go back, it's not really worth it. No,
what would you say a good item for Anivia? A Tear of the Goddess or a Catalyst?
Well, I was going to say the only reason I could see her going back was to grab rank 2 boots early, just because of Ken's mobility. So it could have been a good shout out there. But obviously, Anivia should be fine. You can sit pretty defensive with Anivia once you got to level 6. Glacial Storm does a lot of damage, and obviously teaming up with Frostbite, and you're going to have a lot. You have a lot of damage, so Ken can't really afford to try and attack Anivia in this situation.
Looks like Lee Sin maybe just having a look at mid. He could run into Maokai if he's not careful. I think we're going to have a nice little bout there. He places a very nice defensive ward just to watch when the Golem buff respawns, and we could see some action when Lily tries to go down and steal it. Lily does need to be careful. She is low in health, but she does have a heal. As we will be expecting a blue buff spawn within about a minute's time, as Maokai is going to come to top lane. I think Lily could be in trouble here. Good twisted advance does secure Lily, and Riven flashes in and exhausts Lily here, and Lily will die. First blood does go to Wicked for CLG.
Yeah, important to know that Riven did a lot of damage there. As Ken coming up, Lee Sin is going to go in, does get hit by that twisted advance, trying to do a lot of damage. Ken is level 6, will have the ult, don't think he's going to get there quickly enough, and obviously does back off. I was going to say, Riven did a lot of damage to
Lily.
To Nidalee before that fight even started, and Nidalee decided not to sort of go back quickly enough, and then got caught out there by Maokai or the tree. So a little bit unfortunate there. As Lee Sin looks like he's going to be looking for this god. It is warded, so Snoopy is in a fair bit of trouble. The smite has gone down, and Froggen does eventually pick it up. Now Anivia can find herself in a little bit of trouble. Does take a fair bit of damage there from Lee Sin. Maokai is going to come around from the side, but nothing's going to come of it in the end. So Anivia does manage to pick up Golem there, and that's going to be huge for her. Anivia with Golem at mid.
And Catalyst.
And an early Catalyst, yeah. If you're not going to pick up Boots, then Catalyst is going to be the one for Anivia. Lets you sit in lane forever. So, great item.
Definitely.
Very, very good item. And obviously with this Golem buff, Anivia's going to be harassing a lot and pushing very hard.
Anivia, she needs blue buff more than many other middle champions, definitely. Much like Swain, she runs out of mana so quickly when using her ultimate, and she does need the blue. So it's always good to make sure that she does get it. And if we go up to top lane, let's have a look at some of these skinning orders. It's kind of annoying that we can actually sort of see that Nidalee has been leveling up her heal or swipe in cat form. So she's going to try and stay in lane as much as possible. She's going to be building a Wriggles Lantern by the looks of it, as Riven is just trying to set off as many traps as possible here. So both parties most likely going to be building a Wriggles Lantern, and just to sustain themselves for as long as possible in their lanes.
As Anivia attempts a wall there to pick up a little bit of harass on Ken, didn't quite pull it off, got Ken on the wrong side of the wall, and in the end, Anivia has got so much mana, you would expect Anivia to be slightly more aggressive, possibly scared of the Lee Sin gank at the moment. But like we said, pushing this lane really hard, wants to get her minions under the tower so that Ken might miss some CS. And as we can see already, Anivia starting to pull ahead, 77 minions already to Ken's 60, so starting to pull ahead quite early on in this game.
Definitely. So at the moment, CLG has a 1,000 gold advantage. That has primarily come from the First Blood, which gave 600 gold to their team, and I believe just slightly better farms includes the other 400 gold. Anivia is going to get ganked here by Lee Sin. Lee Sin has double buffs. Anivia, Kennen flashes in, uses her ultimate. Anivia just about gets away and only loses half their health as Maokai flashes in, uses Twisted Advance. Anivia's going to get a nice on Lee Sin and picks up a very glorious kill.
Yeah, that Frostbite doing so much damage, obviously double damage on chilled targets, and Anivia, still with egg up, was never really in that much danger of dying in that fight. So as soon as Maokai came in, she was straight back into the fight, looking to pick up a kill, and obviously picked up a really easy one in the end.
Yeah, so it was a very good passive play there. And Anivia, she must have quite a large amount of gold in the pocket at the moment. She has it's 1,400, so she needs 300 more gold, then she can go back and buy her Rod of Ages. So I don't think she wants to go back just yet. She wants to stay around.
A lot of damage down in bottom lane on Ashe. Ashe does have to flash away there and will just about survive from Cogmore. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, feel free. If there's ever a fight going on, interrupt me.
So yeah, like you said, Anivia looking strong in this middle lane. Double buff is huge and probably will think about going back when the buffs run out, but not before then.
Looks like Lee Sin's going to try again. This is, I think, the third time he would be looking to gank mid, but no, he's backing off. And the Ashe arrow is coming down mid as we are following it. If it hits, we could see some action, but no, it just misses.
It's going to hit Maokai though.
Oh
no! So the Ashe arrow is now on cooldown. I'm not sure if that was the smartest move in the world, as Anivia was well out of lane, wasn't even in the middle of lane, and now Ken has gone back. So
that would have been quite an interesting moment if it had hit, definitely. As Anivia, she has enough gold to buy her Rod of Ages and is going back to do so. Definitely get it as soon as you can. That's the number one thing, really. As Nidalee is doing very well against Riven at the moment. Nidalee can just poke so much. When she heals herself, she gets, what is it, 30-40% attack speed along those lines, and can just constantly pump out auto attacks and does a lot of damage to Riven, especially now she has a Wriggles Lantern. She has the armor to sustain herself as well as the lifesteal. So Riven's going to be slightly on the back foot, but Riven is not gone for a Wriggles Lantern. Looks like she'll be going for a Bloodthirster. So Riven's going for a more dangerous build.
well, Bloodthirst is a really good item to keep her in lane for a long time, and I'm sure she wants that against Nidalee. Nidalee with a lot of harass has got that Wriggles Lantern up already, so it's got the survivability that she needs. So I'm sure looking at this Bloodthirst that Wicked is going to go reset the red timer here, so he's going to know when it's back up, and maybe going in for a kill on Ken here.
Yep, he needs to be careful though. He is under the tower, and the tower will hurt a lot. He's still only level 10. The tower barely has any health left, so Anivia's been doing very well to bring it down. As we see a bit of action in bottom lane as Yellow Pete and Crepo are pushing as Snoopy's in the bush. Crepo was seen by the Ashe's Hawk shot, and so we'll be backing off.
Just Snoopy getting Maokai getting hit down in bottom lane by Yana's knock up there. Stand dead still and then just hurting straight again.
Time is money.
So. Regardless, it just doesn't matter. Looking at Ken, Ken has obviously picked up the Will of the Ancients, a fairly common first item there. Ken, obviously now he's going to have a lot of survivability against this Anivia, who now doesn't have double buff, but does have that Rod of Ages. So that's got a fair bit of sustainability in that middle lane, which is what she's probably looking for. Is going to go pick up that Golem though, and Anivia is going to be absolute hell to deal with again.
Yeah, so Rod of Ages and a blue buff. She's going to be building, getting stronger and stronger all the time.
Stronger throughout. 124 CS to Ken's 100, so 24 CS up on that as well. Looking quickly through it, Nidalee and Riven very, very tight. Cogmore and Ashe. Cogmore well ahead on CS, probably about 28 up at the moment, so huge differences in mid and bot lanes at the moment, and they can really be the two lanes that matter the most sometimes.
It's quite interesting that neither team has gone for a Dragon yet. We are 14 minutes into this game and Dragon has been up for 10 whole minutes, and we did just see a flash coming out from team WinFakt, so maybe we'll be seeing some Dragon action fairly soon.
Yeah, like I think you're more likely to look for Dragon. They're going to look for a kill in this bottom lane. If you can secure a kill in bottom lane, then Dragon's pretty much going to be what you're looking for. If they secure a kill in any lane, I'm sure CLG or WinFakt will be looking to pick up this Dragon, like you say. But it has been up for a while. It is only warded at the moment by WinFakt, so CLG clearly not particularly worried about it.
It is interesting to note that CLG's Froggen could push down mid if she wanted to, and that would be a good opportunity to go for a Dragon. But the counter problem to that is if you do bring down the middle turret, the lane gets pushed forward. So they do need to be careful. They need to weigh up their options. So gold now or gold later. They need to think to themselves. I don't think they particularly need the gold now from the tower, so they're going to hold back on it. Nidalee and Riven are having a nice little fight at the moment. Not much damage is being done, but a lot of moves are being pumped out. So Riven is trying to farm up her Bloodthirster, so every minute she kills, she's doing a lot of health. And Lee Sin's going to start on Dragon. So here we go. So looks like 4 of Team WinFakt are here, and I don't think anything CLG can do. Anivia will be running down, but it's going to be too little too late. So the first Dragon will go to WinFakt, completely uncontested, and that's down at 15 minutes 30 seconds. So we will be seeing it respawn at, I believe, 21 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah, definitely.
It was a bit of a strange one there from CLG. Obviously, wasn't warded for a very long time, and picking up a free Dragon so easily. So not great there from CLG. Obviously, you never want to give away Dragon like that. No,
you've got to be very careful. As all lanes seem to be being a bit careful at the moment. Lee Sin is at mid at the moment. Anivia is on the back foot. Flash comes in from Ken, and Ken does get a stun off with her ultimate. Anivia is going to be probably put down to egg form, but she is under the tower, so she may be safe from there. Anivia, Maokai jumps in, gets a nice hold on Lee Sin. Lee Sin flashed out the way. Anivia gets with very little health. Didn't even need to use her egg there. And so that sort of went to nothing, really. Great save from Maokai there. Maokai definitely stopped Anivia from going to egg form. Anivia has run out of blue, so she will be going back. Oh, maybe not. Maybe looking for a kill here. Great stun! Oh. Wow.
That was an absolutely beautiful flash frost there from Anivia. Ken really obviously didn't expect it, and Anivia picking up a really easy frostbite ignite and then a glacial storm kill. So they are going to pick up this middle turret, and they are going to start slowly pulling ahead in this goal. Obviously have lost that Dragon, but 3 kills up and picking up much better CS in top and mid. As there is a fight going in the top lane, ignite dropped onto Nidalee. And then an ignite onto Riven, both taking a fair bit of damage, but Riven has dropped lowest here. Doesn't look like Nidalee's going to be able to do much here, and like we said, Riven with a Bloodthirster has got so much life still, so much sustainability in that top lane, so it's proving to be quite a pain in the arse for Nidalee at the moment.
Definitely. Well, Nidalee did win that that little fight just then, but not by much really. She did have to use her flash and ignite. Riven still has her flash, so Riven is going to try and stay around just a little bit longer because she knows that she can lifesteal up, and if the worst comes to worst, she can flash out of this.
Yeah, as Maokai is coming up into top lane, like I said, nearly jumping into a bush, so easy to get away in Cougar form, and does easily get away. As Wicked decides to stay around in lane and lifesteal up off these creeps. No real reason to go back when you've got that much lifesteal. Has pushed the minions up to the tower, and now looks like they're going to go back. As Anivia doing a lot of damage in mid. Ken doesn't have a tower, isn't going to drop this time, does drop. Oh, great play there from Anivia down in mid lane. That wall forcing Ken to walk straight into the Flash Frost there, and Frostbite doing so much damage now already.
Wow.
So Anivia looking very, very strong in mid.
Anivia has 5 sight wards as well, so it looks like she's going to try and ward as much of the jungle up as possible and make sure that she doesn't get ganked herself. So you don't want to give away any lead you have. She still has egg form, but she doesn't want to be forced to use it until she absolutely needs it. So 5 wards is a very defensive thing to do.
Anivia just non-stop pushing this lane forward. Huge difference now, 40 minions ahead of Kennen. So Kennen starting to look like quite a weak pick now, which is not something you ever really say that much.
That's very hard to say. You never hear that usually. And Anivia, wow, it's just showing that it doesn't really matter if a champion is technically more powerful than the other one. It's the player themselves that make the difference.
Well, Anivia does a lot of burst damage. You cannot really put a price on how much.
As Kennen's doing a lot of damage to Ashe, if we're talking about burst. Ashe fires her ulti out. Janna is here to save the day. A lot of CC is going on to Yellow Pete here. Yellow Pete does bot. He'll summon a heal and probably will escape, but not by much though. Oh, and a flash, double flash comes in, and he does get away. Wow, and may pick up a kill if he wants to get a bit cheeky.
Just about getting away. Tarek come back into lane, dropping him a heal, and I'm sure he's going to stick around now. But yeah, very, very good flash from Yellow Pete in the end. Left it until the last minute, obviously trying to save it, but just about got away. Wow,
that was very impressive. And I don't know, I'd say Cogmore was away, but great barrage there from Kennen. What's his name? Cogmore. Sorry.
Cogmore.
Kennen Corky.
What are you calling Kennen?
I don't know. We were talking about Kennen not so long ago. I apologise. So that's Cogmore was able to stop Ashe from going back there with his Bio Arcane barrage, and is quite close to getting a kill on her now. Oh, why don't you tell me someone's going top lane? As looks like Kennen came into gank top lane, and Riven was caught off guard, which means that she has lost all of her stacks on her Bloodthirster now, and is going to have to start all over again. So that's the one problem with having a Bloodthirster, is that you...
Can be quite the setback. Sorry, as Tarek is going in and taking a lot of damage up in top lane. Cogmore trying to get some damage off here. Tarek finding himself in a really bad position now. Ashe with the slow and arrows on. Lee Sin coming in from the side is going to try and jump into Tarek. Tarek will drop here. Cogmore trying to do some damage from distance, but isn't quite going to be able to do anything about it. So Tarek caught out of position as Anivia is going to come in, but there is wards down, so needs to be careful. Looks like she just wants to pick up this golem buff instead, if she can get it up quickly enough. Does drop that ward, so excellent vision again, and does pick up golem. Now backing away. Great play there from Anivia, picking up the golem so quickly that no one can do anything about it, and getting a nice flash frost harass off on Lee Sin there.
That was good from Anivia, making up for the death of Tarek by just the blue buff. So eye for an eye. Dragon will be spawning in about 40 seconds time, so we should see some action over there. Team WinFakt have very good ward coverage at the moment. They have good 4 or 5 wards just all around the Dragon area, and I think that they are really interested in securing Dragon.
Well, yeah, you would kind of assume that CLG would be quite interested. It is coming up very shortly, so CLG, after losing the first one, I'm sure are quite interested in picking up the second one. They don't want to go 2 dragons down, because they are starting to pull out a slight lead at the moment, and I'm sure they wouldn't mind capitalising on that. As Tarek does come in with the pink ward and gets full vision across Dragon. Anivia still sitting very far forward, on top of a ward.
Ashe arrow goes straight on Anivia. And looks like Anivia's going to be in so much trouble. Great wall though, just stopping her from getting attacked there. And she will get away with a third of her health left. As Dragon has spawned, and we will see some action over here now. I pretty much wrote Anivia off there, but great Anivia wall just stops anything from going wrong.
Yeah, definitely. Anivia level 15 at the moment as well. Huge level advantage on most of the WinFakt team. Doing so much damage. That Q doing a lot of damage again. Looking like Anivia is going to pick it up, but is getting targeted here by Ken. Will take a lot of damage. Not quite going out into the egg as Maokai picks up the first kill on Ken. Lee Sin taking a lot of damage. Cogmore picking up the kill quite easily. Anivia just sort of floating around at the edge of the fight with no health. As CLG take down the Dragon at the same time as well. Maokai taking a lot of damage, but still has got enough mana just to get a twisted advance off if he can. Anivia following up here, drops a really good wall. Does go down into egg form this time. Ashe taking a lot of damage and will drop here in the end. Nidalee picking up a really good double kill there on Maokai and Tarek. Ashe obviously dropping in the end to Cogmore, but well played there from Nidalee. If you underrate Nidalee a fair bit for her teamfighting ability, then just look at that. That was a really great double kill there from Nidalee. But now Anivia with full health and still has golem buff, doing a lot of damage, trying to pick up a kill there on Nidalee. Now could be in a fair bit of trouble. Is going to get ulted there by Yana, put under the tower. Nidalee doing a lot of damage, does have red as well. Anivia could be in trouble, does drop it in. Flash Frost doing so much damage, and Frostbite picking up the kill on Nidalee easily, and now with double buff. This Anivia completely untouchable, it seems, at the moment. Ken could see, but Anivia is away, and that is well played from Froggen there. Great Anivia play, using the walls there for the line of sight so she could get the cooldowns to work. Anivia doing so much damage at the moment and looking really scary for the other team.
Wow, that was... CLG managed to secure Dragon in the end, and Anivia still hasn't even been popped into egg form yet, not once this entire game, so... I don't know, she or he is just being very agile at the moment, just getting in and out of fights just at the right time, so egg form isn't popped, and is able to pick up some massive kills with the massive damage that she now has. She's just bought her death cap, bringing up to 350 abyss power, so that's very high for 20 minutes.
350 ability power, 2300 health, 81 armor and 83 magic resist. This Anivia is not someone to be messed with. Fairly well defended, but just like you said,
looks
so
like
much
Maokai's going to come for a gang. Great stun from Taric there. Maokai is being knocked up. He does get Twisted Advance in, and Janna does not have her ultimate and will die very quickly there thanks to Kog'Maw's massive burst damage. And looks like they may be interested in Ken and Ashe, but they do need to be careful. There is a tower still there. So great ninja gank from Maokai there. Just came out the bushes. The double hold, the stun from Taric and the hold from Maokai means that it's very hard for anyone to get away.
Yeah, Ashe taking so much damage from Kog'Maw's ultis here. He obviously doesn't want to look to push this tower down at all. Would be much happier to see the tower pick up creeps instead. But Kog'Maw looking so dangerous compared to Ashe, who looks almost tame.
Well, Lee Sin and Kennen are just a stone's throw away. And Ashe also goes straight onto Kog'Maw here, and Ashe is going to die maybe. Yep, she does die to Kog'Maw's massive range as Kennen pops her ultimate, and they're going to probably pick up a kill on Taric as Lee Sin kicks Kog'Maw straight back into the action. And Lee Sin picks up a very nice kill on Taric as Kog'Maw is just ripping Kennen apart. Wow.
Doing so much damage. Ken now hiding in that bush. Obviously Kog'Maw still wants to try and pick up the kill, but just can't quite get away with it. Maokai was in the bush as defense. They did get CV'd in the end. And now it looks like they might just push through on this tower and pick up an easy tower. Like you say, Kog'Maw doing some really strong damage. Does have a lot of damage and got the Phantom Dancer up already and a pickaxe, so it's got the damage and the crit chance already.
Yeah, but Maokai will be picking up this tower. Just a few more hits as Anivia, whilst that was all going on, she managed to get the middle tower down to about 10% health. I don't think Maokai is going to be able to get this tower. I don't know if he wants it. He has to be careful though. Janna can do a slight bit of damage.
I was going to say, I'm sure he's not particularly worried with an Aegis and a Sharedia's Reverie.
Wow.
Easily going to be able to take that. And yeah, so CLG really starting to assert themselves on this game, or almost 8,000 gold ahead at the moment. Currently 7,000 gold ahead. Could have just said that. 5 kills up as well, 2 turrets up. Both teams level with 1 dragon. So this game really shaping up to be. It's going to be a really good late game. You could see Ken being really important in team fights if he can get enough CS to match Anivia. But like we can see already, Anivia almost 100 CS in front of Ken here, and Anivia with 4 kills to match. So Anivia looking so strong at the moment.
There's some good wards from CLG around Baron at the moment, and we may be seeing some Baron action in the next 5 minutes, as a good pink ward from Taric allows him to get rid of any wards that Team WinFakt have. So we could see all 5 of CLG are at Baron at the moment, and I think we could see some action there fairly soon. Some very good defensive wards. Taric is going back, which is quite interesting, so maybe they won't start just yet. Looks like Taric has bought an Oracle, just so his pink ward isn't going to be in vain. They want to just sweep the area and make sure there are no wards before they start. So they're playing it safe.
Definitely. Yeah, who was 5th ban? I got Cassiopeia, Morgana, Ahri, Shyvana.
It didn't ban, remember? There wasn't a ban.
Yeah, it'll be 5 then.
Oh,
I can't remember either. It's annoying me now because I can't think who it was.
Rammus.
Oh, and Rammus was banned. There we go. But the 6th ban, which should have been from a CLG point of view, they decided not to ban for some unknown reason.
Yeah, they timed out.
As Anivia gets hit by an Ashe arrow, but Anivia easily able to back away. Does have those Mercury treads, so the stun's going to do nothing against Anivia. So quite a bad arrow there. And Anivia quite comfortably getting away there.
Mercury treads on Anivia, that's quite an interesting one. I mean, it's very useful for team fights and everything, but don't you feel like she may lose damage from the lack of magic pen? Or do you think, let's have a look at the magic pen. What does she got? She has 10%, which I'm pretty sure that comes from the talent, the mastery, sorry. So she doesn't have any magic pen runes. So That's quite interesting. So NVIDIA doesn't have any magic pen runes. So I'm interested to see what her runes are. Or his runes, Froggen's runes.
I'm sure it's a something of a trade secret.
Well, we can just check after the game.
We could have a little look. That 10% probably is.
That is the Masters.
Fairly useful.
Yeah.
Like if you're not going to be grabbing boots, you don't really need unnecessary magic pen, do you? Whereas if you're going to keep that 10%, if you need it, you're going to pick up avoid stuff late game if people start stacking magic resist. But as we've seen already, NVIDIA doing a lot of damage, so clearly not worrying about it at all.
Yeah. If we have a look at WinFakt's items, they only have one magic resistance item between all of them. Two if you count. I'm not really counting Mercury Treads. There's the Abyss Scepter and the Ace Legion. The Ace Legion only actually gives 15 magic resistance, so it's not the largest magic resistance in the game. So the magic pen isn't as necessary at the moment. Definitely not at this stage of the game. As a NVIDIA maybe building a Guardian Angel by the looks of it.
Definitely going Guardian Angel.
How does the order work? Does it go Egg then Guardian, or Guardian then Egg?
I'm pretty sure it's Guardian and then Egg.
So she's just trying to hold onto that egg as much as possible.
So yeah, she'll go down from the Guardian, come back up with 40% health, and then be a threat again.
So 3 lives. 3 lives on the Anivia.
I remember as well, with the egg, Anivia moving into late game gains armor and magic resistance in the egg form as well. Obviously, yeah, in egg form. In early game, she receives negative armor and magic resist, but as the game moves through, she actually receives armor and magic resist, so she becomes even harder to kill in egg form as the game moves on.
Wow.
There you go. If you didn't know that, it's fairly interesting. Like we were saying before, Anivia almost now up to 300 minions, as Ken just coming up to 200. So basically, Anivia has got that 100 minion advantage now, which is absolutely mad, and has got that Guardian Angel up, doing so much damage. Does hit Nidalee there, puts the wall down as well to get vision. Really well played there from Anivia, who has still got Golden Buff. I'm sure Anivia must be cheating or something. It's had it all game long, essentially.
Yeah.
And CLG are going to start on Baron. It does look like WinFakt are going to try and come here. They need to try and do something to switch this around. They cannot give away a free Baron here. Anivia sitting up in a very defensive position is going to look to try and do all the pokes she needs to stop them coming in. They are trying to get this Baron low. It does go below 30%. Doing a lot of damage. Ken does go in here. Now drops his ult. Doing a lot of damage. Turret looks like he's going to drop first in this team fight. Now Ken getting focused down by Cogmore. Cogmore taking no damage at all while he's dealing this. So way too easy at the moment for them. Nearly just away at getting away in that team fight. As the team fight carry on, Ash now getting picked up quite comfortably. Riven jumping in on Yana and picking up a nice double kill for Cogmore there. As Lee Sin jumps in, tries to pick up Tarek. Not a great idea. Now he's going to get picked up with a great twisted advance, and there is the surrender.
Wow. So
great first game there from CLG and WinFakt, but a good win for CLG.
Yeah, Anivia and Cogmore took no damage during that fight whatsoever, and I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see an Anivia ban in the next game. This is a best of 3. This is CLG versus Team WinFakt. I'm just going to get rid of the overlay, and whilst we have a quick look at the scores, Anivia didn't even die once, neither did Cogmore. So the 2 main damage dealers didn't even die once. So that's very impressive. So I'm expecting. Whilst you set up the game, Tom, we will play a quick advert. Any second now. Right, yep, you set the game, and be careful where you post the password.
Yes, okay. I hope they haven't started without us.
No, WinFakt are not in the game yet.
Okay. So,